Everybody, I'm Marcus.
I'm Ryan.
And together,
we are the Northwest Sports Fanatics.
Now, week 10 of the college and NFL season is officially in the books. We want to go over some of our standout players, our top 5 teams in the NFL right now, and also our college BCS rankings. And some of our NBA. NBA has started, so we want to go over the first 2 weeks, give you guys a review of our top 5 teams, and also a couple of standout players so far. So let's get it cracking. Let's get this on the road. I'm going to start in the NFL. Standout players from Week 10. For the quarterbacks, I got to go with Mr. Drew Brees. He had another awesome game as he continued to stake his claim for the MVP this year. 392 yards, 4 touchdowns in the rout over the Dallas Cowboys. He just makes it look so easy out there.
Yeah, so easy.
And not to help that he got good weapons like Jimmy Graham and also Marcus Colston out there. Now I'm going to go to the running back position, and this is a surprise. This is his going into his 4th year in the league.
Okay.
Mark Ingram.
He's playing pretty good.
He's playing pretty good. Where have you been, man? You know, you won the Heisman Trophy, a couple of national championships. You come out. Everybody expected you to be the main guy there. One of the reasons why they got rid of Reggie Bush.
Yeah, I think he's trying to compete with Chris Ivory after what happened with him.
Okay. So. Well, he's starting to turn his game up. 14 carries, 142 yards. Actually, his first 100-yard rushing game of his career.
Oh, wow.
You'd have never thought that. 1 TD, and this is his breakout game that the Saints have been waiting for down there in New Orleans. Next up for the wideouts, I'm going to go with my preseason Rookie of the Year pick, Mr. Tavon Austin.
Wow, he played great.
You played an awesome game, bro. Where's it been all year, man? You know, the Rams fans been waiting for this. You had 2 receptions.
Okay.
138 yards.
All right.
And 2 touchdowns.
Doesn't get any better than that.
So every time you touched the ball on the pass, you went to the house. And you also had a nice punt return for a score as well.
3 TDs.
3 TDs in the total. The breakout game the Rams was expecting from the number 8th pick in the NFL draft this past year. Now, what about you on the defensive side of the ball? Any standout players that stood out to you?
Yeah, there's quite a few defensive players. First, I want to start off with defensive end Chris Long. Since we were just talking about the Rams with Tavon Austin, he had a great game. 4 tackles, 1 sack. He had a fumble recovery for a 45-yard touchdown. Sorry, Swaggy P, but Chris Long is, Howie Long's son, and it doesn't get any better than that. You know that he's going to bring it, and the
apple don't fall far from the tree.
No, man. They got good lineage with that family, especially with the other brother there in Chicago on the O-line, Kyle, as well. So 38-8, the Colts lost. Rams had a nice W. Rams aren't going to make the playoffs, but obviously, Chris Long, you are a great player. You will be in the Pro Bowl more than likely this year, so shout out to you. Second player, I want to go with linebacker Ahmad Brooks.
Okay.
Now, I usually don't want to shout out a team that has a player that represents it that loses,
right.
But, he had a good game, 4 tackles, 3 sacks. Mm-hmm. He had a hard game against the Panthers. That was kind of like to show who was a little bit tougher. Mm-hmm. Panthers won 10-9. So, obviously, it wasn't due to Ahmad Brooks' play.
No.
I mean, he did everything he possibly could, but obviously that offense, Kaepernick couldn't really get it rolling. So, Ahmad Brooks, shout out to you. And then my last player is a player you probably never even heard of. And I don't think anyone out there has even heard of him as well. His name is Vincent Ray.
Who?
Vincent Ray. He's a linebacker on the Bengals, 6'2", 250. He's from Duke.
Okay.
So Duke actually has some players other than basketball players in the NFL. It's his 3rd season, right? He's actually a backup to Ray Maualuga since he's injured right now. Yeah. MCL sprain, 3 to 4 weeks. So this guy got his shot. 8 tackles. 3 sacks, 1 INT.
Oh.
Probably the best game out of any defensive player all weekend. And you did lose to the Ravens in overtime. Mm-hmm. Heartbreaking loss, 20-17. But he gave it everything he had. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get moving forward. But
he had a nice game.
Nice game, though.
You know how the story goes, man. Next man up.
Next man up. So keep it rolling. Vincent Ray, I don't know if we're going to hear your name the rest of the year, but maybe we will. Nice game from you, so shout out to you. Want to transition really quickly to the BCS.
Okay.
So we're going to go to that.
Hold on, BCS, a.k.a.
the bullcrap standings.
Right.
So we'll go to that until we get into the playoffs, obviously, in these next couple years. Number 1, you already know who it is, Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. They played great. They played LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. They really showed America who is really number 1, and I thought LSU might be able to hang in there for a little bit, but 38-17, you kind of did everything you tried. Mettenberger tried to do whatever he could, but
Bama's overwhelmed.
Yeah, Bama's D is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So, and Saban with the chatter going to Texas, it's starting to get those players a little amped up. Mm-hmm. They want to play hard for him just in case he does leave. So, shout out to you. You're 9-0. You're going to go to the Natty. Probably win it again, but you're looking great. Number 2, you got Florida State. Right? Famous Jameis, you're ridiculous. 26 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. You're probably the front runner now for the Heisman with Johnny Football. 9-0. You're looking good. I don't see you really slowing down. I think that would be a pretty good physical matchup in the Natty, unless something happens. So shout out to Florida State. You're playing great. It's nice to see you up there in the top 5. Number 3, by default, you had people move up in the rankings. So Ohio State took a couple spots there. So obviously they're 9-0. Urban Meyer, Braxton Miller, they're still running that 1-2 combo of the coach and the QB. Braxton Miller, 15 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Hey, Ohio State been talking a lot of trash lately too, saying they'll mop the floor with Bama or Florida State. So
yeah, so
keep winning. You may get your chance. Who knows?
Yeah, or they could obviously lose themselves. I mean, we don't really know how good they really are. So, but you're number 3 in the BCS, 9-0. So shout out to you. Number 4, you got 8-1 Stanford. Okay. You show the Ducks how good you really are, and it really shows you got to have a good O-line and D-line. It hates me to say it, but right. But David Shaw, respect. You are the best coach that's not in the NFL right now, and it wouldn't surprise me if there's about 5 or 6 teams come knocking on your door after the season's over. Respect to you. I respect you a lot. Great coach. They won 26-20. It was 26-0 pretty much the whole game and going into the 4th. Mm-hmm. I know Duck fans up here were pretty shocked and a little embarrassed, but made a little rally at the end and got 20 in the 4th. But bottom line, it's an L. Yeah, so we got to move forward. Mario got injured, but no excuses. We should have played better, and we're not on that level yet. So shout out to Stanford. You played great. O-line and D-line, you are ridiculous. You're very comparable to Alabama in that regard. So shout out to you. Number 5 is one of my favorite teams in the top 10, Baylor. You keep moving up. You keep playing well. You're undefeated, 8-0. You showed America when you played Oklahoma. You are the real deal. You won 41-12.
Yeah, I was kind of sleeping on them until I seen that game, man. Petty is a pretty good quarterback. He had a nice assortment of receivers out there, too.
Right. The only player that has better stat line than Bryce Petty is Mariota. 22 touchdowns, 0 picks, but Bryce Petty's got 21 touchdowns, 1 pick. So, wow, you're great, Bryce Petty. You keep playing like this, you're going to be playing somewhere on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So you're playing well. Keep it up. Number 6, you have Oregon. Obviously, we were sitting at number 3. With the loss. So we still represent the Ducks out here. But 26-20 loss. The bad thing about it is Mariota has a left MCL sprain. He says he's okay, but I don't believe it. He couldn't even scramble or run away. Right. So we play a tough Utah team that beat Stanford early in the year, and they like to throw it deep. So if Mariota can't get some points, and Tyner and DeAnthony and the defense, if we don't get it rolling, I could see us losing.
Where you at? I'm calling you out, dog.
Come on, Dad. We need you. We need you really bad there.
Man. Step your game up, bro.
All right, and then number 7, we got Auburn. A surprise team in the top 10. They're climbing slowly. And they haven't really been that good since the Cam Newton era. They had a bad last year, but obviously they're playing well. You defeated Tennessee 55-23. Tennessee isn't really a great team, but they're average, so you showed, obviously, that you're better than them. But the key stretch is the next 2 weeks. You got Georgia this weekend, right? Aaron Murray, you got a pretty good team, and then Alabama.
Oh, so you're about to find out pretty soon how real Auburn is.
And Auburn did beat A&M with Johnny Football earlier in the year, so they obviously showed they have some skills. So we'll have to see how they play and if they can maybe upset and move their way up in the rankings. So that's the only way the BCS is going to be busted if Alabama loses is to Auburn, I think. Number 8, you have Clemson. You're at 8-1. Taj Boyd, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks. NFL quality quarterback, maybe not, but you know what? For the conference that you're in with Sammy Watkins, you're a good duo. You're playing well. Sammy Watkins is kind of like a DeAnthony Thomas. He's got 7 TDs. He's almost on the cusp of 1,000 receiving yards. So look for him to break that. Obviously, this weekend he's looking great. Number 9, Missouri for Jimmy Whitaker out there.
Okay,
all right,
Jimmy
Whitaker. You got Matty Mock. He's backing up James Franklin, who got injured, playing pretty good.
Yeah, he's been playing awesome since Franklin got injured.
Because I think most people thought Mizzou would obviously drop off as soon as the injury happened, but they found a way to keep it moving. So shout out to you, 10 touchdowns, 2 picks. You do have Ole Miss this weekend, but then you got A&M. So Johnny Football will be coming to your house, and we'll see how good Mizzou is at that point. If you win that game, then much respect. You do deserve to be in the top 5. And then number 10, South Carolina.
Okay.
So Steve Spurrier, you're 7-2. You're the only team in the top 10 with 2 losses. You got A&M there at 11, so you're on the cusp there. But South Carolina, Connor Shaw, 18 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's not that.
He's got to stay healthy, Shaw.
Yeah.
Carter, you've been out a couple of games, man, and they missed you in the games that they lost.
Right, and Steve Spurrier is playing his former team this weekend, the Florida Gators. So there's a lot of chatter right now in the media with Spurrier, his old team. Florida's not as good as they used to be. So we'll see what happens in that game, but that's the top 10 in the BCS. Let's transition over to NFL. What about the NFL Power Rankings? How are we looking?
The third week in a row, we're going to go with the Northwest Sports Fanatics NFL Power Rankings, the top 5 teams. Of course, we're going to start off with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 9-0.
Unbelievable.
I say by default, but again, you do suit up and you got to play the game. So much respect. You're 9-0 so far. But you defeated your last 5 games, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Jeff Toole.
All right.
Terrell Pryor.
Okay.
Casey Keenum.
All right.
And Jason Campbell.
So nothing really to shake your head about. Obviously, a lot of these teams are not even 500.
Yeah, exactly. So you got Peyton Manning coming up this week. So this week really let us know how real the Kansas City Chiefs are as far as advancing from the AFC to going to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
All right, next up, I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. They're 8-1. Right now, Peyton is hobbled a little bit.
Little injured.
He's a little banged up. So you got the big game coming against the Chiefs. This is going to go a long way as far as deciding home field advantage there in the AFC. My next team, number 3, we're going to stay here in the Northwest with the Seattle Seahawks. Legion of Boom, ain't no surprise there. But I am surprised by the fact that they have 5 road wins already this year, and that was supposed to be the knock on them, is that they can't win on the road.
Yeah, and a couple years ago, they couldn't even get a road win, even if they needed one desperately.
Exactly. So last year they had 3. This year you got 5. So salute to the Seattle Seahawks. You winning on the road there. That's what championship teams do. Next up, I'm gonna go down to New Orleans Saints at 7-2. They just blew out the Cowboys.
Drew Brees.
It just makes it look so easy. 625 total yards. And I think you said they set an NFL record?
Yeah, 40 first downs. It's never been done before. Ridiculous.
That's all I can do is laugh. Next up, my number 5 team, we're going to go New England Patriots. They're 7-2 right now. And look out, the Patriots might be hitting that stride. Gronk is getting back in the swing of things. Amendola, Tom Brady is getting on track with his rookie wide receivers. So look out for them. And also, just on the outside, I got the Carolina Panthers. Great win. Cam Newton is definitely stepping up. So those are our top 5 NFL teams here right now. Next up, we want to go to the college and give you guys some of our games to watch this weekend.
All right, so for college, we got a few games to watch. I'm just going to go through them real quick. So we got number 25, Georgia, to start it off with Aaron Murray, future NFLer, versus number 7, Auburn. So this is going to be a game for SEC powerhouses to decide, is Auburn the real deal? Can they beat Alabama? First, they got to beat Georgia, but I think that's going to be a good smash-mouth game. Might be a few injuries by the time the game's over, but it's on at 12:30 on CBS. Okay. So it's a nice game to watch if you got nothing going on. Next, a nice key matchup, number 4 Stanford versus not ranked USC. Oh. So you fired your coach, you got rid of Kiffin, you got Ed Edgeron in there now, and he's really giving this team motivation. They've been blowing teams out the last 3 or 4 weeks, and don't be surprised if USC comes out and beats Stanford. I know it sounds crazy, but it could happen. They're really confident, and it's going to be on ABC at 5. They shifted the game to that 5 o'clock spot because they know this could be the difference in the BCS to shake it up a little bit. So stay tuned to that game. Another great game is the Beavers, Oregon State Beavers here locally, versus number 19, Arizona State. Okay. So that's going to be a nice matchup there. Beavers, if you win, you're in the top 25. Mannion and Cooks have been playing great all year. That's on the Pac-12 network at 6:30. And just a little shout out. It's not a great game, but for us Northwest fans, Utah versus number 6, Oregon Ducks. We don't know what's going to happen. We hope Mariota's healthy, but if he's not, we'll have to, wait and see. But hopefully we come out with a W. So those are the games to watch for college. What about the NFL? Any games?
No, in the NFL, I circled 3 important games this week. First game, I'm going to go the San Francisco 49ers versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints, again, coming off the blowout win at home against the Cowboys. And the 49ers lost a real old-school fashion smash-mouth football game to the Panthers there. So let's see if the 49ers can bounce back on the road. Colin Kaepernick, we need you to step your game up, bro.
Yeah, and Saints it's almost impossible to win in the Dome in New Orleans. Yeah. So, I don't know how good. I think Kaepernick would have to throw up at least 28 28 points for that team to win, but I mean, they might need more than that, maybe 40.
Against Breeze, man, you got to put up at least 30 or 40.
Yeah.
All right, the next game, I'm going to go New England Patriots versus the Carolina Panthers. Tom Brady again, he's starting to look like Tom Brady. And Cam Newton.
Is this the breakout game?
That's what I was about to say. It's your time to shine. Here, you're going to be on the spotlight right here. It's on you. So, Mr. Superman, you're going to go in that booth and come out. What's up? This it right here. This could be a real statement game for you. Next up, of course, the game to watch. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos.
Oh, showcase.
Yeah, I always get into the debate, who has the Chiefs paid? They got the last place schedule. Now we about to see how real they are. You're going into Denver against Peyton Manning and the Broncos. So those are our NFL games to watch. NBA just started.
NBA!
And I'm excited, especially because my Redskins going bad, but
hey, my Bucks are doing bad too. Got my first win, but hey, maybe next year, Johnny Football.
So what are some of the top 5 teams you think in the NBA so far this year?
All right, so this is going to be the second week of Northwest Sports Fanatic Power Rankings for NBA. Number 1, Indiana Pacers.
Of course.
Ridiculous. They haven't even lost yet. They're 8-0. They're the only undefeated team. Paul George is ridiculous. Right. 24 points per game average. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. We finally have a new superstar with a no-name guy. It took him a couple years to get there, but then now everyone's going to know who Paul George is. Everyone in the starting lineup is averaging double figures.
Wow.
Hibbert's 9.9, so you can round that up to 10. So pretty much everyone's in double figures, and Danny Granger is just right around the corner. They thought he'd be gone longer. So, wow, Indiana Pacers, you might actually make not only the Eastern Conference Finals, but who knows, if Miami gets injured with Wade or Bosch, you might actually make it to the finals this year. It's really looking like a possibility. Number 2, surprise team, San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
So everyone says, you're old. You can't play anymore. Parker, Ginobili, Duncan, you're washed up.
And all they do is keep winning.
And they just keep winning, right? Big 3 are all in double figures. One key guy is Kawhi Leonard. What a great player. This guy, Kawhi Leonard.
You know how hard you put
Wow, Kawhi Leonard, you're great. You're really keeping that team together and give them a little spark of youth that team needs. They're 7-1, and I don't really see them dropping off anytime soon. Number 3, you got to go Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay. Russell Westbrook. They needed you so bad. Oh, man, he's back. They're 4-0 since he came back from the injury. He is shooting a little sloppy, 33% from the field.
You expect that.
But he will turn it up. And Kevin Durant, wow, what can you say? 30 points per game, really? Already?
It's KD.
KD, one of the best in the world. So just with LeBron as well. So keep it up. Number 4, surprise team, Portland Trailblazers here locally in the Northwest, right? We're 5-2. Who would have thought the Blazers would be 5-2?
Hey, Rip City, man.
Rip City out here is alive. We really believe we got Phoenix Suns tonight. We'll have to see how that goes. But Aldridge and Lillard, we finally got 2 all-star players together. No Roy and Odin. Aldridge and Roy. Odin and Roy, we never had that combo together. Now we got 2 superstars. They're both going to make the All-Star game this year. But the key that no one really is talking about is Nicholas Batum and Wesley Matthews.
Yeah.
So these guys are playing good, and that's what really makes us win, is when those 2 guys score like 15 or 16 a game, get some rebounds, shoot some threes. They're playing great. Wesley Matthews, 15.9 points per game. Wow. So shout out to you, Wesley. You came off the injury. People were kind of on your case out here in the Northwest.
I was.
We wanted you out of here, but you know what? You're really proving to us you're playing hard, you play injured, and you're stepping up. So congratulations to you. Last, number 5, I got to go Miami Heat. You can't keep the Miami Heat out of the top 5. They're too good. You're 5-3.
Yeah, they're only 5-3.
You lost a few games early, so people question you. Are you taking games off? The LeBron and company are 60 points per game between the big 3, and they're getting back to business. Will they lose a few games here and there? Yes. But, they are the favorites to probably win the title again this year. So those are the top 5. Any standout players for the NBA you want to shout out?
Real quick, I just want to shout out my 2 MVPs so far. Paul George for the 8-0 Pacers, 24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Wow. And Kevin Love, 5-3 Timberwolves, 26 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Unbelievable.
Now, you can follow me on Twitter, MarcusHill_NWSF.
And Orion_NWSF.
Hit us up on Facebook.com/NW Sports Fanatics.
We want to shout out all our sponsors. We appreciate all the love and support. Share the page. Help us out.
All right. Also, hit us up on Instagram @NW Sports Fanatics. Shout out to Banner Bob for the banner in the background. Hit him up at thesignShack.net. I'm Marcus. This is Orion.
And together,
we are the
Northwest Sports Fanatics.
See y'all next week.